Welcome to In 5 Minutes. Now we'll discuss some math library functions. These are the functions which are used for doing some kind of mathematical operations which are otherwise very difficult to write with our own programs. For example, for addition, subtraction, multiplication, we can do our own program by using simple operators like addition or multiplication, or even we can write some complex statements like for loop, if else, etc. to get some calculations done. But there are some operations which are beyond our normal calculations, and for that there are some built-in functions are there. So these functions do some calculations, that is mathematical calculations. To use these functions we need to use header file Math.h. So with the other header files that we need to include this file also at the top of the program. Let's see the first and simple function abs. The function returns the absolute value, that is positive value, for a given integer. For example, y equal to abs of minus 12 will give me answer as positive 12. If it was y equal to abs in bracket positive 12, still give me positive 12 only. Now next is a to f, alpha to float, or we can say string to float. The function returns the floating point value for a given string. So you have to write a to f function, in bracket you have to write some string, and that string, the value of that string will be converted into a proper floating point value. So you'll get the return value as a floating point number. Here we have taken the example is the string return is 23.56. Now when it's a string, it is of no use for calculation. So sometimes a value stored in the form of string, but which is a numeric value, we can convert into a float value or int value using such function. So here this is a function that converts alpha to float. Basically it is string to float. Now if the function fails to convert the string into float, it returns 0. For example, if that string was xyz, then obviously xyz cannot be a numeric value. So it will just return the answer as 0. Next is a ceil function. The function returns closest integer value greater than or equal to the given value. Ceil is like ceiling, the upper value. For example, ceil of 4.13 will give me 5, the closest integer value which is greater than or equal to the given value. So the closest integer value for 4.13 upper value is 5. Ceil of 2.85 will again give me value as 3. So it is not rounding, it is just giving the upper or same integer value. Now ceil of 10 will give me same value 10 because it says it gives you greater than or equal to the given value. Same way as a function called as floor is like flooring. It takes the value downward. It returns the closest integer value less than or equal to the given value. So for 4.13 it will give me answer as 4 because the closest lower integer for 4.13 is 4. Same way floor of 2.85 will give me 2 because the closest lower integer for 2.5 is 2. And for 10 it will give me same value 10 because for round figure it doesn't do any conversion. Again in this the given value in the bracket is never converted. See, for example, I had some x value which is suppose 4.85 and some y value. If I write y is equal to floor in bracket x, then in y I'll get the floor value of x which is 4.0, but x will remain as it is. So function doesn't change the original variable. It just gives you value back into other variable. Now if you want to change suppose the original variable, we can write even like this: x is equal to floor in bracket x. So now your value of x will be converted to floor value and will be given back to x. So x, which was originally 4.85, after this operation will store value 4. Next is trigonometric functions, that is sine, cos, tan functions are present. Now these functions return, for example, sine function returns sine of a given angle, but the angle must be mentioned in terms of radians. For example, I have to get sine of 90, I can write sine of pi by 2, but obviously that pi I have to write as proper value 3.142 upon 2. So this will give me answer as sine of pi by 2, that is 1. Now when you are working with these functions, most of these functions take parameter as a double data type and even return value also as double data type. Very few functions take some other type of data as parameter. For example, here the abs function has integer as parameter. Even this a to f has string as a parameter. But otherwise mostly the return value is always double. So when you are working with these functions, try and use double data type or at least use float data type, and including Math.h is compulsory. Thank you.